All right. So for the first example of congenital anomaly that we'll be looking at what congenital hydrops, or some people call these hydrops fetalis. All right. So this fetalis, you can actually spot out the word fetal or fetus in it. That means it actually occurs in children. All right. So hydrops is like hydro, is like water. Do you understand? Accumulation of fluid, okay, in an infant. You could see swollen, puffy face, you could see swollen abdominal stuff and all those stuff, okay? So we'll talk about this condition, to the pathogenesis, clinical presentations, everything, okay? Complications, everything I need to know about what? Hydrops fetalis. So that this hydrops fetalis is defined as an accumulation of edema fluid in the fetus during intrauterine growth. So it actually happens within intrauterine compartment. Okay, then you are giving birth to it like that. Okay, so based on the extent, the accumulation can be quite variable, as it could be localized, where it is just in one compartment, or it could be generalized, all right, where it is affecting the general body. You could see swollen hands, swollen legs, swollen puffy face, and everything. Okay, so these hydrops can be immune or non-immune. So for the immune one, we say that this is a what hemolytic disease caused by blood group antigen, okay, incompatibility. So this one was actually like a war between the mother and the child, okay. So there was an incompatibility between the mother and the child, okay. So the major antigens that induce clinical significance were immunologic reactions are some of the what rhesus antigens and blood groups, okay. So if there's an incompatible reaction, let me say the mother was a rhesus negative, the father was a rhesus positive, then you have all those complications coming soon. All right, okay. So the thing is, still talking about this immune hydrops, so that the basis of immune hydrops is what? Immunization of the mother's blood. Let me say the mother gave birth to the first child, so she was sensitized. So the second child now, the mother will basically develop immune against that second child, because the second child is having what? A rhesus positive, while she's rhesus negative. Understand? So is the immunization of the mother by blood group antigens on fetal red blood cells. There's free passage of maternal antibodies through the placenta to the fetus, and the fetal red blood cells enter the maternal circulation in the last trimester. All right, that's when the cytotrophoblast is no longer present as a barrier. Okay, so the rhesus disease is uncommon with the first pregnancy because there's no sensitization, but later on now there's sensitization, and from the second pregnancy the children coming there will actually have problem. I think that's a summary of everything that is here. Okay, so for unknown reasons, some group O women possess IgG antibodies, which are directed against some type of A or B antigen. Okay, so hence the firstborn may be affected. Do you understand? Sometimes the firstborn could be affected. Okay, so excess destruction of red blood cells in a neonate can lead to what? Reduced red blood cells and increased bilirubin. Reduced red blood cells is what is known as anemia. Okay, then increased bilirubin is what is known as what? Hyperbilirubinemia. Okay, so progressive anemia develops and may result in what? Hypoxic injury to the heart. That means there's reduced blood supply to the heart and the liver. Okay, so cardiac hypoxia may lead to what? Cardiac decompensation and failure. Okay, jaundice can be caused by that unconjugated bilirubin because there's too much bilirubin in the body. Okay, those are just the complications. Okay, so this is talking about the complications of hydrops fetalis. We say that that's basically like the clinical presentations now. The infants may be stillborn, and some of them may actually die in the first few days of life. Okay, there could also be presence of dysmorphic features such as a chromosomal abnormalities post-mortem examination. Okay, So now with fetal anemia, both placenta and the fetus are pale. The liver and the spleen are enlarged in most cases. The bone marrow demonstrates compensatory hyperplasia and erythroid precursors. There's extramedullary hematopoiesis is present in the liver, the spleen, the lymph nodes, and possible other tissues like the kidneys, the lungs, and even the heart. Okay, so large numbers of erythroid precursors is present in peripheral circulation. Okay, they might also have an affected brain. That's what is known as kernicterus. Right? So the brain may be enlarged and edematous, like we saw in that picture. Okay, the brain is large. Okay, so clinical manifestation may vary with the severity of the disease. So minimally affected infants just exhibit pallor and possible there's a hepatosplenomegaly, enlargement of the spleen and the liver. But if an infant is severely affected, they can present with intense jaundice, generalized edema, and signs of neurological injury. Okay, so on that basis, that's it for congenital hydrops.